This episode is hands down my favorite episode of the series so far. Amazing fight scene took place directly after John Walker killed that dude in front of the whole world. Now, I won't say that Sam and Bucky totally whooped him. They really had to work for it. Is they're really trying to say how much stronger John Walker was than Steve Rogers as a super soldier. Because remember in Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Bucky gave Steve the business. Of course, eventually they win and we move on. And it's the only fight scene we get of the whole episode. But even though it technically was a lot less action-packed, this episode was really heavy. A lot of great themes. It really impressed upon us why Sam is the new Captain America, why he should be, why he deserves to be, why Steve chose him to be. And outside of the regular conversation about race, or obvious conversation about race, because of what happened to that sad story that happened to Isaiah. And really, for Isaiah, I wish we had like a flashback, like he didn't just tell the story. I would have loved to have seen him in the 50s during the Korean War and his people, and like I would have really just loved to seen all that, not just have been told the story. It was sad enough as it is, but that would have been really awesome to see. But Disney really went for it and didn't just have Isaiah's story, which is from the original comic. I believe it's called Red, White, and Black. Truth. It was Isaiah Bradley's story in the comics for Captain America, and because he literally did the same exact thing that Steve did to free Bucky. But we see what happened to Steve, and we see what happened to Isaiah. So Bucky is realizing his own privilege as a white man, that his experiences are different and that Sam's are different. Nothing to do with their character or what they've earned, but the world treats them differently. Not that Bucky did anything or Steve did anything to earn it, and nothing to feel guilty over for having that privilege, but for not seeing how it affects them. And that's why he apologized, and that's why I love that he apologized, because he finally sees, the world does see color. The world treats people of color, even soldiers, especially soldiers and veterans, differently. And I really love their bonding montage. I love that you see them not just bonding, but kind of dealing with their own separate issues and their own separate traumas, everything that they've dealt with and gone through. And also, I love how Disney and Marvel took the approach, Marvel, not Disney, took the approach to allow us on this journey with Sam. As he's accepting himself as Captain America, we can see why he should be and learn to accept him as Captain America as well. Because there's going to be people who don't want him to be Cap, because as a black man, even though he was Captain America for a while in the comics. But even just regular fans, like obviously I didn't care because he was black, but I just loved Chris Evans as Captain America. He was completely perfect to play Steve Rogers, and I was sad to see him go. I don't care about his happy ending. I didn't want it. I didn't want him to go back in time. He should still be here. So even just as fans, we had to get over, okay, no, we're going to have a new Captain America, and everything they've shown with his growth and pulling back his profession as well, because Sam isn't just a sidekick or the best friend, which is kind of how I saw him. Because with the big movies, you don't get as much character development. The most we saw of him was in the first movie, where he speaks to Steve on a level where Steve understands him because he's a counselor for the VA. And we know he was a paratrooper, or he was, with pararescue. And this season, we've really seen him, that he really will try to talk to first, that he has, I don't know if he's like a degree in psychology, but he's obviously qualified to be a counselor, and he gives better advice than the therapist that they shoved on the Bucky. Sam may be hopelessly optimistic, but he believes in truth and justice and the things that we say America stands for, even when America doesn't always stand for us. Because let's be honest, sometimes the American government is trash. And not sometimes, a lot. That's my reaction and my thoughts on this episode. It honestly gave me so much joy seeing the community come together, working together, seeing Sam accept who he is, seeing the Wakandans give him the suit, even though we didn't see the suit yet. I'm excited to see it in the finale. And I am excited to see Sam Wilson come out to America as the one true and only Captain America. Seeing Walmart Captain America get his, because he has to get beat up, whatever, become US agent and end up on the Thunderbolts, I guess. Which would be like Marvel's answer to, not Marvel's answer to, because they are in the comics already, but Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. So a lot of stuff is being set up. I'm really excited to see it all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.